Welcome back to my next video. I am shooting this in July of 2020, and this video is on 9 steps to take if you have been evicted. And it's so important in July of 2020 because of the pandemic, because of the quarantine, because of all the job loss, and the just massive uncertainty of our future. I believe there is a very great likelihood of many evictions coming up, and I want you to be ready. But even if you're never evicted, I think these 9 steps will help you to become a nomad, even if you have plenty of time. So instead of a month or a week or a day, if you have a year, these 9 steps will make your transition into becoming a nomad very easy. So I hope you'll take them and find value in them, even if you're never evicted, that they are a transition into becoming a nomad. So this is the second video of those, and let's watch those steps now and see what you need to do to get ready to become a nomad if you've been evicted. Step 6, you've got to get your vehicle ready to be living in. And I'm just assuming, I don't know what you're going to have. If you have a car, boy, it's going to be a little hard. It's going to be easier if you have SUV because they just have more room. Usually they have a little more headroom, not always. They just have a little more elbow space. If you have a minivan or a van, boy, you're just set. You can live really well in one of those. Car or SUV? My first, very strongest suggestion is that if this is going to be a while, and hopefully you're going to fall in love with this grand adventure of living cheap and small and traveling and living your fullest, best life. Not doing without, living your fullest, best life. Finding peace and harmony in nature, with yourself, with other people. If that's going to last a while, I would really strongly consider taking out your seats. No matter how small your car is, I've got a video, and you need to go watch this video. How to live in a car after you take out the seats. It's fantastic. I'll put some pictures in here. You can really be comfortable in a car if you could take out the back seat and the front seat. Same with an SUV. Now, some of the SUVs, the seats fold pretty flat. Whatever your situation, whether you can take out the seats or you just refuse to take out your seats, it's going to really devalue your car. Most of them can be put back in, but where are you going to store them at? That's a real problem for most of us. But at any rate, whether you take the seats out, whatever you have to do, you have to find a way to sleep as comfortably as possible in your car. If you can't sleep well, you can't live well in a car. You just can't. That good night's sleep is one of the most essential things of all. So taking out the seats can almost guarantee it. Almost all cars, if you'll take out the front and the back seat, you can sleep all stretched out. You can put down a piece of plywood that goes over all the undulations, and then you can sleep flat. I really recommend a Thermarest type backpackers inflatable camping mat. They're insulated, it'll keep you warm. They're really strong and durable. They're intended to be used out in the wilderness, not fail you in the middle of nowhere. Thermarest is a great brand, but there are many others. REI makes great products for less. The most important thing in getting your vehicle ready is finding a place you're going to sleep. Where can you get your seats taken out if you're not able to do it? Hopefully you can find a friend or family or someone that will help you get your seats out of there. So a really big part of getting your vehicle ready is privacy. You must have your vehicle closed up, sealed tight, so light doesn't escape and people can't see you. You've got to have airtight privacy. A big part of privacy is going to be sleeping, because you're going to be sleeping in places where people don't expect you and think you shouldn't be, and so you want to have stealth. That means that they don't know you're in there. They won't knock on the door and say, "Why are you in there?" They won't call the police, and the police will knock on the door and say, "Why are you in there?" So this part of stealth is really important. This privacy is a huge part of stealth. And so here's how you maintain your privacy. You have 2 camps. Day camp, where no one cares. You're there during the day. People are there all day. Who cares? No one will notice. No one will knock on your door. So you go to a Walmart parking lot all day, or you go to a grocery store parking lot, or JCPenney's, or wherever you go, a mall, anywhere you want, that is normal for people to be there all day and people to come and go. No big deal. No one will care. Then you have a certain number of places. I suggest you have 7 places, so you change every night, and you only go there once a week. You won't stand out. You go there and you get there at one of these 7 places, and as you rotate around them, you get there at the very last second. You're ready to sleep. You get there, you get in bed, and you sleep. That's all you do. You're there for 8 hours, 9 hours, maybe no more, and you do nothing to draw attention to yourself, and you have completely covered and darked out all your windows. Um, Part of the privacy and stealth is getting the darkest tint you can possibly get on all your windows. And the trick is on all your back windows, do it twice. Go and get limo tint on all your back windows once, and then pay them and have them do it again. So then you have double darkness on your back windows. You can barely see in and out of them, and that's fine because you're using your side mirrors to drive. You can't do that with your side windows, passenger driver's side, or windshield, because that's illegal and it's unsafe. You can't be that dark. You're just going to have to get Reflectix or felt covered cardboard or whatever it is you have to do, or both. Get all 3 of them. The next step is you have to make the car as reliable as possible. You want to put the minimum amount of money into it down the road. And so you do that by putting some money into it now. Maintenance is everything for you as a nomad. Keeping the vehicle healthy and well running, that's your top priority. So if you haven't got an oil change recently, you want to make sure the oil is always changed. This becomes less important. But maintaining the reliability of your vehicle, maintaining the vehicle is critically important at all times. Check out your belts and your hoses. Check all your fluids, not just the oil, transmission fluid, very important. If it hasn't been changed in a while, get it changed. Radiator fluid, the overflow tank. So check all your fluids out, make sure they're all good. Check your spare. Have you ever changed the spare on your car? So you want to make sure now that you're a nomad that you've got this covered. So figure out where the spare is, figure out how do you get it out of there. If it drops down, make sure that still works and you can do it. You're physically strong enough. Get that off there. Find the jack, find the lug nut wrench, find the thing that turns the jack, change that tire. So in making sure your car is reliable, you want to go out and make sure you can change a tire, because that's part of making your car reliable. You are part of that equation. So go out there and make sure your car will start and it's reliable. Talking about your spare, look at all your tires. Are they old? Are they getting flat? Are they getting cracked? Age is as important as tread, and if it's really old, it still has to be replaced. So don't drive far out of town with old tires that need to be replaced. That's really, really important. Now, in talking about how to get your car ready, one of the most important things you have to do is get stuff organized. So you got this pile of stuff in the corner that's going in there, and you can't just take it out there and throw it all in. Believe me, that will become a nightmare. That will become a hell on earth. It literally will become a hell on earth. Now, assuming it's your car, one of the most important things to use is a duffel bag. Duffel bags compress, they fit in odd corners. Cars have a lot of odd corners. And so you want it to fit and conform to an odd corner as much as you possibly can get it to do. So a duffel bag will do that. Get a cardboard box for the stove, for the pots, the pans, the plates, all that stuff. And so these are the kinds of organizing tips. Plastic drawers are really, really good in a small car, where you can just have the smallest plastic drawers. You can pull it out, you can get in it, you can see it all. Organization, and it's cheap. Duffel bags, stuffed sacks, cardboard boxes, all this stuff shouldn't cost you 20, 30 bucks. Okay, step number 7. You've got to have all your documents with you. There are certain things you should always have with you. Everybody who's thinking about becoming a nomad should go out and get their passport. So obviously you have your driver's license, you have your vehicle registration, you have your insurance registration. You have all of this stuff in one place. But go beyond that. You should have a certified copy of your birth certificate with you at all times. You should have a copy of your Social Security card with you at all times. Yeah, if you're Medicare age, you should have your Medicare card. You should have all your insurance information with you. All that stuff needs to be with you. For the moment, just keep using your old address. When I was forced out of my house into my van, I just kept using my old address. And I would always give my mailing address as the UPS store, Bob Wells UPS store, and all that information. And if you don't have a real ID, you really should get one while you're in a home. It's 1,000 times easier while you're in a home. So For the moment, just continue to use your old address. If you live at 1234 Main Street right now, that's what you're going to continue to use every time anyone asks. No one will know. No one's going to check their account, go and see if you live there, and you're going to get the UPS store for your new address. When you decide to move and become a real nomad with a snowbird nomad and a new residence, then you'll deal with that later. You're not going to deal with that right now. If you don't have a pet, then this is not an issue to you. If you do have a pet, is it going to be fair to your pet to go with you? I can't imagine not taking Cody with me, but if I were forced to live in a car, I would have to be, I'd have to be forced to think, am I doing the best thing by Cody by making him live in a car with me in a city? And my answer would probably be no. It would be devastating if I had to give Cody up. I'd find him a wonderful home. There's no question about that, but you can. Uh, but the question isn't what's best for me. The question is always is what's best for your pet. Step number 9 is to practice. So if you've been given a month, get your car ready as quickly as you can and start sleeping in it. Go out in your own parking lot, sleep in your car. It's going to be a lot easier if things go bad, if you just go back into your apartment, than if you've already lost your apartment and then things go bad and you don't know what to do. So start practicing. The more time you have, the more you can practice. But say you've gotten you've got a week notice. Well, the first day you should be doing all the essentials and finding a place to sleep in your car. Maybe that first night, after you get the eviction notice, you just go spend the night sitting in your front seat, or the passenger seat, put it back as far as you can. Can you sleep in there? That's how you're going to find out. And all the noises that are going to pop up and all the strange things that are going to go on, that's going to help you to transition into this totally bizarre world of living in your van. You know, you've never lived in a vehicle before. That first night can be really terrifying. It was for me. And so if you start now, you can ease your way into it. Part of practicing will be spending a night in your driveway, going camping if you have time, going to a park and getting out, put all your stuff, all your cooking stuff in a cardboard box, take that cardboard, go to a park, take that out, start cooking meals on a picnic table at a park. That's going to be an enormous advantage to you. If it goes badly, you can just stop and go home and cook. If it goes well, you can try it again the next day. So that's a way to ease your way into and practice before you're actually doing all of these things. It'll be real helpful to you if you could do that. If possible, practice stealth parking. Go to a Walmart, see how it feels to sleep in a Walmart parking lot if you have time. Go to a residence if you're in a car. Go find an area with a lot of apartment buildings and spend a night there. You're just going to start practicing. You're going to ease your way into it while you could still have the security of just going home to your apartment. And then that's how you're going to ease into it. It'll be easier if things go bump in the night and you just are so scared you have to run home to the apartment. That's going to be easy. Rather than the apartment's gone, there's no running home anywhere. So it's just kind of a way of practicing and easing. So another thing is to start learning how to boondock. You're going to want to boondock. So go to freecampsites.net, find boondocking sites around you. If you have time to practice, go to a boondocking site and boondock overnight there. And that will teach you, you'll start learning and becoming more familiar with how to go out into public lands. And eventually that might be your future, but the more you practice now, the better off you'll be while you can just go home to the safety net of your apartment. But everything I'm going to tell you is in this book. I wrote it in 2010 and 11, right at the heart of the last financial crisis. And I wrote it for people who needed to know what to do right now. And so this is the perfect book for today, 2020. And so this is the hard copy book. I think it's less than $8 on Amazon. The name of the book is How to Live in a Car, Van, or RV and Get Out of Debt, Travel, and Find True Freedom. But today I'm telling you about the book because I think it could just be a real lifesaver at this moment. This is why I wrote the book. In your extreme moment of need, it'll be a simple guide to keep you alive. And that might be kind of where we are. But the important thing here is it's also on a Kindle version, and the Kindle version is $2.99. I wanted to make the Kindle version as cheap as possible so that it wasn't a burden. I mean, if you've just gotten your eviction notice, you don't want to be spending a lot of money on books. And so it's $2.99 on Kindle. You can read Kindle on your cell phone, smartphone, you can read Kindle on your computer, your laptop, your iPad, so many devices. And so just download the free app, and then it's $2.99 to buy that book. And I really, again, I don't recommend the book. I don't push the book. I don't want people to be able to say, see, Bob is just trying to get your money. And so I never push the book. So those are the final steps of the 9 steps on how to transition in an eviction, or if it's just you're getting ready to move into a van, out of your apartment and into nomadic living in a car, van, or RV. And if you have been evicted, I know how terribly difficult this is, how very hard it is to make this transition, to all the uncertainty and fear of that, and the crisis point it's become in your life. And it's my prayer that this helps you, to give you hope, to give you a direction, to make your life just a lot better in this difficult time. And if you're just planning to move into a new way of life, a better way of life, I hope this makes it easier for you in that as well. So if this helped you, I hope you will like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you on the next video.